Hi everyone, welcome back to the coding series. So far we have solved small classification problems. Now we will build something slightly bigger, a simple calculator using if-else. So let's see the problem statement here. Take two numbers from the user and take an operator from the user and perform the calculation and print the result. So let's see how to do this. So calculator with basic operators will have operators like plus, minus, multiplication and division, right? So these are the basic operators here. So to do any operation with this, with two variables, let's say a and b, we have to do, if it's plus, we have to do a plus b. If it's minus, the same thing, a minus b, and a multiplied by b and a divided by b. Okay, this is how we calculate, right? So to do this, the only change here is the operators here, right? So to do this, we have to check first the type of the operator, and based on the condition, if it's equal to plus, we have to do addition, the same with all other operators. So for example, so if operator, okay, will be, if is equal to addition, it's a single character, then do addition here, else if operator is equal to star, do the multiplication, a plus b, a star b, else if I forgot here, if operator is equal to minus, then a minus b, else if operator equal to divided by a divided by b. If all this condition fails, then the operator is invalid operator. Okay, so we are combining here the inputs and the operators and then logical conditions here. So now let's do the coding step by step in IntelliJ. So let's import the scanner class, java.util.scanner. We have created the class, and now let's create a main method inside this and create a scanner object which has system.in, and now we will take the input from the user. So we need two numbers and also an operator. Okay, so let's say system.out.println, enter the first number, and let's take double num1 equal to scanner dot next double, and let's take the operator here. You can even take the second number first and then the operator. Here I'm going to take the operator first, enter the operator, and which can be plus, minus, star and division. Okay, enter one of this and store it in the character operator, so which is equal to scanner object dot next, and we have to take the character at 0. Okay, so this will take the first character which is entered here, and this is how we take the character input. Now let's take the second number here. Second number will be number 2 equal to second number. Okay, so now we are taking the input from here and storing it in number 1 and number 2 and operator. If operator is equal to the character plus, then the result will be, don't forget to add the braces here, otherwise it will take it as string, which is number 1 plus number 2, and don't forget these braces here, these two, and add else if the operator is equal to minus. So if you copy paste, right, you remember to edit this properly and give proper operations here. I'll just quickly copy paste this for other conditions, which is multiplication. Okay, if none of these are true, then print invalid operator. Okay, so this is how we can write a simple calculator using if else. Let's run this and check the answers. Yeah, so enter the first number, which I can say 2, and enter the operator 2 plus and again 2. So you got the result saying 4 here. I can also do the other operations, maybe 3 minus 7, and it gives minus 4. Here I'll give 10 divided by 3, which gives the decimal number as we are using double here. And finally let's do the multiplication, 4 and operator is star and 5, okay, which gives 20. Let's give the invalid case now. So I'll give some number and some invalid character or anything here, and then some number, and it says invalid operator here. Okay, so this is how we create a simple calculator here. So now let's see some important edge cases here. So what happens if we enter 10 divided by 0? So we cannot divide by 0, right? So when we use the double as the input, and when we enter any number, say 10 and divided by 0, will give you infinity as result. But when you use int here, it will throw the arithmetic exception. So I'll just quickly show int and run this. Okay, I'll just give some number and divided by 0. Okay, it throws the arithmetic exception, divide by 0 error. So to avoid this, we have to give one more condition. So if the operator is division, then we need to check if the second number is not 0, number 2 is not equal to 0, then you divide the number and give the result, else you print maybe something like cannot divide by 0. Okay, now if you run this, enter any number divided by 0, will say cannot divide by 0. So this is one of the edge case which is very important, and whenever we use the operator division, we should make sure we have to handle this divide by 0 scenario. Okay, now if you see, there are a lot of print statements, right? To make it clear, I have done like this. We can even improve this by adding a variable. We can use two variables here. So one is the result, which is double result equal to 0, and boolean valid equal to true. Okay, instead of printing this result multiple times, I'll just print one statement with the result, that is, so result will be equal to result. Okay, so I'll print this only if it's valid. Okay, so if it's valid, print the result here. So here what I'll do, I'll just change all the print statements and add it to the results here, something like this. Okay, and only if in this case we are also making valid as false. So in this case I don't want to print the result, right? So even in this case, right? So here what happens, I'm storing the result in one of the variable called result here, and at the end of this I'm going to print the result here. But there are few cases where we don't have result itself. So in that case it's not valid. So I'm giving this valid as false. So only if it's true, then it will print the result. So by default it's true. So it's always taken as true here. So let's quickly run this and see one of the example. Maybe let's say 4 star 5. It's 20. So this is how we can improve the code. Now in interviews, they might ask you to use the results, something like this, and also they might ask you to check for the divide by 0 condition, and they can also ask you to use the modulus operator here. Remember, if you are using modulus operator, you should use int here, not double. So to get the remainder, yeah, so preventing division by 0, and they might also ask you to use the switch case to write this calculator, okay, which we will see in the next episode. So let's quickly recap what we learned today. So we learned how do we create a simple calculator here, and how do we compare the operators, and how to take input, a single character input here using character at, and some edge cases here. In the next coding episode, we will rewrite this calculator using switch case, which looks more cleaner. Okay, thanks for watching.